Christina is in Ocala, Florida. Hi, Christina. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and Ken. Thank you for taking my call. This is a wonderful birthday present.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. It's the big 4-0. It's kind of scary.
Oh, I don't know how you're going to make it, old woman.
Yeah, I know. That's what my husband said. Poor me. I have a question because my husband and I have been working our baby steps, which is wonderful, and we're kind of concerned on how to deal with his father. We want to handle it in a way that his retirement is going to be a blessing instead of a new curse for us. Let me give you a little background. He is a single man and has been since him and his mom divorced 40 years ago. He spent the last 20 years renting. He's never bought or owned a home. He, at one point, leased and owned 3 cars, a boat, jet ski, and 2 motorcycles. He's always had more than one car, and he's one person. He's retired now. All he has is Social Security, a little bit of pension, and $100,000 to his name, and he thinks buying a gun is an investment. And we're just terrified that we need to fit him into our baby steps because we're going to end up having to take care of him if we can't get him to stop wasting money.
Okay. What do you guys make a year?
$130,000. I work 4 jobs and run a business trying to clean up our own mess. Mm-hmm. And we have our own goals and dreams, and I just feel like, one, out of guilt, we're all he has. I mean, my husband is his only son. Mm-hmm. There's nobody else that's going to take him in. It would have to be us. So I feel like if we could get him on the right path, he might be okay, but that's having to explain to him that, you know what, you're going to have to stop blowing money and maybe work a part-time job because he thinks he can buy a house, but that's going to take all his money if that's even enough. Mm-hmm. $100,000 doesn't buy much.
How old is he?
68.
Mm-hmm. How's his health?
Well, he just had surgery for prostate cancer, but that all went well. So we're hoping the health maintains, but that's my other concern.
So your husband has a good relationship with his dad?
Oh, yeah. We've always been close with him, and we have a good relationship. And a couple of years ago, we sat down and talked to him about all this and kind of tried to explain to him making 8%. He's got some finance guy at his credit union telling him making 8% and whatever he has it in that he doesn't understand is good. We're like, no, that's not good. And he thinks it is. And he doesn't understand half of what they're doing. He gives them his money and they do whatever, and he thinks it's good. And after that many years of them doing whatever, all you have is $100,000 to show for it. I think you need a new guy.
Mm-hmm. I think you're more upset about this than anybody else on the planet.
Well, it terrifies me.
Yeah, I don't think your husband's upset about it, and I don't think his dad's upset about it.
Well, my husband's worried because he doesn't.
Not as worried as you.
Just the other day. Well, I'm nervous to talk to you, too. But my husband's like, I need to talk to him, but, how do I talk to him without, hurting his feelings or being kind of a jerk about it? Because, he's rented a house for 30 years paying $250 a month.
No, I can just tell you don't need to talk to him. Because your state of mind is not a state of mind that he's going to listen to you.
Well, no, I won't talk to him. My husband has to.
Yeah, your husband has to.
That's not my problem.
I know, but it's because you have a lot of anxiety about this, and it's going to come through, and it's going to sound bossy to him, and you don't want that, and it won't be profitable for the conversation. Your husband can sit down and talk to him, but I'll give you a prediction. Your husband can sit down and talk to him, and probably nothing's going to change. Okay. Because I don't think the old man wants to change. I don't think he gives a rip. Right?
So
he's 68 years old. He's 68 years old. He has $100,000. He buys guns, and he pays his rent.
And cars. Well, he just now found out he has to move out of that. So now he just went and dumped money to rent a trailer until he can figure out where he wants to live.
Okay.
On top of his 2 cars.
One of the most painful things that we all go through as adults is watching people we care about be stupid. Yeah. Because you can't make them not be stupid. everyone has people in their family and in their friend group that are doing things that we all look at them and go, oh, my. And you know the only hope is that occasionally you can knock a knot on one of them's head and get their attention and turn them around. But I don't hear anything in this story that makes me think he's going to listen to your husband. Do you really think there's any scenario where your husband says any? I don't have any magic words for your husband to use. And I just don't think this old man really cares about. I think he's got his own way of doing things, and I don't think he cares. So here's the thing. You make $130,000 a year, you can probably buy him a little bit of groceries if he's completely starving to death. You might even help him with his rent a little bit here or there a few times, even though he's been a complete twerp with money and doesn't really deserve, with his irresponsibility, the help. But you can afford to dump a little bit of money in that, and it's not going to make you broke. You're not going to give this guy $100,000.
Yeah. Nor do you have to pay off his debt.
No.
All those boats and cars, you can sell all that if something happens to him.
Yeah, you're not responsible for any of that.
Yeah.
All we want to do is just make sure he's not hungry and homeless.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of our point.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of money, though. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of money. If you're paying his rent, you decide where he lives. Or he doesn't have to live there. I mean, I'm going to get a little cheap trailer or a little one-bedroom apartment or something, let him rent. And you can do that depending on where he is, a few hundred here or there, right? And the same thing with groceries. So, and you guys can afford to do that. And by the time you have to do it, which will be many years from now, if you ever even do have to do it, your wealth is going to be on track because you're doing smart stuff. But it's just, I agree with the pain in your voice and the desperation in your voice, because it's just hard to watch people you care be self-destructive.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, yeah, when we feel like we're it, that we have to do something.
No, you don't.
You don't, yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to do anything. There's not a law that says you've done cocaine your whole life and now I'm supposed to pay for your rent. There's no... I mean, you've misbehaved, whatever form of misbehavior you want to come up with, your whole freaking 70 years on the planet, and now I'm obligated to feed you? Not really, but I probably will, just because I'm a compassionate person.
He's not going to take you guys down. You either have so much fear, and I get it. There's so much unknown, and you're in the middle of the struggle, and you guys are busting it, and you're gazelle intense, and you're working 4 jobs, and you're going. But listen, he's not going to drag you down. He's not going to drag you guys down. So that fear needs to go away.
But it's disgusting to you.
Sure, of course.
Because you're working so hard, and he's not doing squat.
Yeah.
You know, you're being so responsible, and he's so irresponsible. I get that. It's disgusting to me to hear about him, and I don't even know him. You know, I get it. I understand. But what is he? He's most of America, right?
Yeah.
And so he's irresponsible and slovenly and out of control, and, you know, and then acts like somebody did something to him. And nobody did anything to this old guy. He just farted around with all his money till it was gone. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you can calm and just lovingly, I mean, please don't talk to him. Let your husband, and it's his son, and just say, Dad, I'm going to knock a knot on your noggin if you don't quit this, because I'm afraid I'm going to have to feed your butt because you're misbehaving. Now, you need to be a grown-up, and this is how he needs to talk to him, because this old guy doesn't do subtlety, does he? No, he needs a two.
No, he doesn't.
He needs a 2x4 upside the head, and that's what your son's going to have to do. But that's the only shot he's got getting through to him, and it's just lovingly, Dad, I love you, but you're being a butt, and you got to stop it. And you're just going to have this conversation, and then see how it goes.
Hallmark needs to make one of those cards.
Right there.
The Dave Ramsey.
Dad, I love you, but you're being a butt.
That'll be a bestseller.
It'll be a big seller.
It will.
Be a big seller. Be a movie on Hallmark Channel.